Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and the Son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 12th of March 2024. I'm going to do a trade recap here on my trade on ES. So yesterday I was doing a little analysis and planning out a trade for today. So the market opened here on the week. We opened around this level here. Let's see what we actually opened at. Right, so we opened at 51.95.50, right? So we had this push down yesterday. We almost tested weekly value area low at 51.48, but the low was 51.57, and we rallied back up. So it's basically just a test of the lows here, looking for buyers. We came back up around the opening of the week, and today we had this well, in the ETH yesterday we had this decent little run up. Let me just make it bigger. Right, so we had a nice little slow progressing run up, and we had a little pullback here at what time? At 4 this morning we had a pullback and ran up here into the CPI news, and the news came up here and we rejected, right? So I was actually looking at a potential sell at market profile, the weekly market profile value area high, or the POC area, plus this VWAP band I have here. Let's see, let that populate. Right, so this second upper deviation, I believe it is. Let me just throw on the VWAPs. Right. So this is the second upper deviation band. So I was looking at this here for a sell, looking at these levels here for a sell, a potential pop-up from like when the CPI came out. I was looking for a pop-up to these levels depending on where price is coming from, right? So let's see here. Right, so we had this big sell-off down to the VWAP level, and then we opened here and we opened around this value area high, right, on the weekly. So price was pushing back up. Well, it wasn't pushing back up. Let me go down to the 5-minute. Price opened around that area right there. So going with my thesis, I was looking for a sell around this area at market profile value area high. So let's go down to the 5-minute chart. Let me see if it's right. So it's clean. I don't have to clear up too much. So right. So when the CPI came out, we had this big dip down to the value area low. Let me just point that out there. Value area low was at 51.75.50, right? And we had this dip down to value area low, had this big push up, came up here to created the overnight high, and then we started to trickle down into the open. So we had this reversal into the open, but then I saw the weakness pop up on Bookmap. So I went short at 52.05.75 and 52.06.75 where I added, right? So let's see here. Where is this coming from? I didn't take any buys. Anyway, so eventually just rode this down all the way down here to 51.83.75. And that's where I took profit right here, right? So don't know where this is coming from, this 52.10. I didn't take any buys right there at 52.10. That's probably a mistake or something like that. Anyway, so when it came back up with the reversal here, we almost tested market profile value area low again. And we reversed, came back up to this level here. Market profile value area high on the weekly, took another couple shorts here and stopped out at 52.12. So gave back some of the profit on this one right here for looking for a continuation lower, and that didn't happen. We have the bullish run up now, So let's see where price is right now. All right, let me throw on the Camarilla, sorry. So we're breaking Camarilla S6 right now, which is at 52.25. So nice bullish run. We're above market profile value area high, so we're creating new value up here. And let's see how far it could go. Let's see, let's throw on the pivots, flow pivots. So R4 is at 52.35. Previous week's high is 52.57.25. So any one of these targets is potential targets depending on how aggressive the buyers are. Yeah, that's my trade for today. Let me see. Switch over to Bookmap real quick. One second, trying to find exactly where I took these trades. Right, so this is the trade here at the open. So we have this after the CPI, right? Actually, I don't have any more information. That's when I open the chart. All right, so let me just make this bigger. And again, I have a lot of stuff on my chart, so let me just point out some stuff here. So at 9:30, right? So at 9:30 here, we have all of these orders going off. This is the volume pointer control. This is now moving up, right? Moving up on price. Price has to push off of this or either break down from this, right? Because this is the volume pointer control. So at this point, price has to make a decision, right? Excuse me one second. Right, so price has to make a decision here. So at this point, it's holding above the volume pointer control. The volume pointer control is incrementally moving higher a little bit. Right here, moved higher again. And as you can see, more of the yellow bubbles are the sellers, right? So the yellow bubbles start to create more volume than the buyers. So this is where you get like buying exhaustion. You see how the bubbles are getting much smaller. You see on top here, this is buying exhaustion right here. So I had someone ask me in the comments, I tried to comment back about how do you spot buying exhaustion. And this is exactly how you spot buying exhaustion. You're using certain levels like volume point of control where you're trying to see at certain levels, important levels, what price is doing, right? So as you can see here, we're starting, hold on. So we're starting to get exhaustion up at the top, right? So up at the top, this orange right here, that's the ask, right? And you can see in between here, you see these green lines right there. That's the bid, right? So you want to see price hitting the ask a lot more aggressively, right? So when you start getting this exhaustion, the ask isn't getting hit as much, right? Like you can see right here, there's no buyers on the ask, right? As we come up here, no buyers on the ask, and we get hit like somewhere in between the ask and the bid, right? And you can see how small that bubble is right there, right? So at that point, we're coming back down, we're pushing, we're losing volume pointer control. You can see volume pointer control is moving up, getting exhaustion above, sellers taking control, and you can see all in between these price actions here, sellers are taking control before we even break, right? So we get the breakdown. Buyers come back up, they retest, they push up aggressively. Let me just see here. Hold on. Right. So buyers start taking the aggressive route, right? So they had exhaustion before. They see that they're losing ground. They come back in. Some buyers try to take it up aggressively, right? Moving across. And again, this is what you're looking for with for a sell, right? And this is not a trade recommendation. I'm not a certified financial advisor. I can't make these kind of recommendations to you. This is just how I trade and how I view Bookmap, right? So all of this is just for educational purposes, and this is just the way I trade. You have to develop your own strategies, right? So compared to this, we hit the ask aggressively. And this is the indicator I have here. This is selling absorption, right? So even though these guys came in here aggressively, a lot of sellers absorbed that 105 contracts, right? Then we have this buying exhaustion here again, where they take it up compared to this bubble. Look how small this bubble is, right? So you get the the flow of price action going down, sellers taking control, right? No aggressive buyers really. Some buyers came back in here. No one's hitting the ask again. Take it down again. Come back up. No buyers on the ask. We have sellers up here. Buyers can't take control. And we're pushing down again. Now again, keep an eye on this here. This is the volume points of control. So let's see what price is going to do now, right? So we're getting buying exhaustion again. No buyers on the ask. No buyers on the ask. No buyers on the ask. Small buy on the ask, right? Big sell bubbles coming in, right? Pushing down, pushing down. We hit volume point of control again. Buyers step in again and try and take control, right? So they're pushing up, but not a lot of volume though, right? So making note of that again. Look at the top of the order flow. Up here at the ask, we have sellers, no buyers. This is the buyers we have. Buying exhaustion happening, right? Come back down again, test volume points of control, buyers step in again. Now, this is the strategy that those algos and bullish traders are using, right? So they're using the volume point of control to step in for buys, right? But they have no initiative players like this one here. He's an initiative player, but he's like a loan shark right now, you know what I'm saying? So he got this buy here, no continuation, nobody's helping him out, right? Sellers take control again, bring price back down. So let's see here. Right, so this is where sellers really start to take control. You see there's no buyers on the ask, right? That's that orange line right there. No buyers on the ask. Sellers taking control. Have a little bounce right here. And then we lose volume points of control, right? So now the buyers, this was the last attempt for the buyers to get to push price up, right? So volume points of control, they lost that. We retest. And this is where I took my short, right? Because this is where I was supposed to enter at 5206.75, because this is the retest of volume points of control. Because you see, that's where you get the break, you get the retest, no buyers, right? All right, so let me show you right here. This is where I took my trade. I hope you guys could read that. Executed at 5205.25. Now this is a little different from trading view, so executed here at 5205.25, right? Kind of missed this entry right here. So as we moved across, we came back, retested above volume point of control, had the aggressive buyers coming in here trying to support the price, came back up all the way to 52.10.25. And as we broke down here again, sellers taking control, breaking volume point of control again. I entered here again at 52.0650, right? And then let's see here. I just want to show these instances of buying exhaustion, right? So you can see buyers not hitting the bid again. Small buyers up here on the ask, right? We have some aggressive guys here, no follow through, right? A lot of more selling bubbles coming in here. And shout out to cousin Andy. I hope he's watching this video because he asked a question about he's in the Discord. Shout out to cousin Andy. He's in the premium tier futures Discord. He's part of the Discord I'm in, and he's gonna start using Bookmap. So I hope this is a little insightful for him. I'm not an expert on Bookmap, but I learned from guys like Tom B and what's the other guy's name? Bruce Pringle, right? So more exhaustion here on the buy side, more exhaustion. No one is hitting the ask. We're losing volume point of control, right? Aggressive sellers at volume point of control, last attempt by buyers, and then we have the break again, right? And you always get these retests, right? So you break down here, you come back and you retest volume points of control, more exhaustion again on the buy side, right? This is where you know that the buyers are really losing steam because they're not. This is also some iceberg selling right here, 17 right there, 2 of them right there. So you're seeing the exhaustion up on the ask, and we're getting the push down again, right? So you see again, even though the buyers came in here a little aggressive, you're seeing some aggressive bubbles right here. On the ask, no one is hitting the ask. They hit the ask here, no follow through at volume point of control. This would have been a nice entry again on a breakdown retest, right? So we get this follow through to the downside now. And this is where the trade really started to work. So when we got this retest here at around let's see what time 9:34, so 4 minutes into the open, and now we're getting this nice flush down here, right? You can see no buyers on the ask. One guy tried to retest VWAP. This is VWAP right here. No buyers on the ask, no buyers on the ask. Full control of the sellers until we get down here to around 52.02, right? So when we get down to this area, a little change of character in the selling, but still we're looking again at the ask. No buyers, small buyers, sellers on the ask, right? Exhaustion again for the buyers, no buyers, right? So even though the sellers have changed character a little bit, they're not as aggressive as coming down here. They're still in control, right? And we push down lower. Let's see here. And this is what you're looking for. Keep your eye on this ask right here. Is there anyone taking initiative buys right here? No one is taking initiative buys, right? All of this here. These guys here, very small, right? So you're seeing the continuation developing just by the order flow and how they're executing, right? At the bid and the ask, right? So these guys are hitting the bid heavy, right? The sellers hitting the bid heavy. And if you get what was this called, man? MBO bundle, right? You can get this iceberg execution indicator. So if you can see here, there's a blue line, right, going across. And this is the iceberg executing here. You see there's 5 icebergs, right? Now it could be more than that, but Rhythmic is giving you kind of like an indication of there's a seller right here executing as price goes along, right? So that's another indication of heavy selling. So let's see here now. We have some buyers trying to hit the ask here. We have an aggressive guy here. No continuation. And when you get no continuation, when buyers step in like this and they get no support, the sellers actually like they smell blood in the water and they just start taking price down again, right? So all these are little things you have to start looking for when you're reading order flow on Bookmap, right? So now you see some buyers coming in. So some buyers stepping in here at 51.96, right? And they're hitting the ask, but they're not really, it's not a lot of volume they're coming in with, right? So compared to all this selling, they need to be way more aggressive here. So this is looking like continuation. And as you can see again, when they make an attempt and they fail, price breaks. All right, so let's see here. Right, so we get a nice little cascade down. Let's see, we have another iceberg selling right here. All right, so iceberg executing here again. Trying to see where I took profit. So I held on my trade. I was trailing my stop. I remember trailing my stop to 51.94-ish. Sellers in control. Sellers in control. All right, so we have a guy here, an aggressive buyer here, hitting the ask, right? So you can see he took out 125 short stops, right? So they had to buy right there when he pushed price back up. So this is like me. I'm trailing my stop. People shorts are putting their stop here, and this aggressive buyer hit the ask, and he got price to push up and clip some stops. But again, you can see no follow through, right? This is exhaustion right here again. And every time this happens, every time you get this aggressive guy here coming in and he can't get any follow through to the upside, we get the break again. Right, so we break, we have some aggressive buyers coming in here. And let's look for the exhaustion again. Right, so you can see aggressive buyers, no follow through, you get the break. Buyers up here, you get the break, no follow through. You get the break again, no buyers here up at the ask, you get the breakdown. Buyers step in here, but no aggressive buyers on the ask, no aggressive buyers on the ask, no aggressive buyers at the ask, right? We're getting some buyers, but they're not hitting the ask aggressively and pushing price up. So let's see. Right, so we get that pullback, right? But within the pullback, you can see where there's no follow through on the ask, right? And every time this happens again, you get that follow through to the downside because this is a failed attempt by the bulls, right? So the bears are going to smell blood in the water and they're going to hit aggressively again because they already started doing it here. Buyers try to put up a little fight, right, coming in, but they're not getting any follow through, so they took it down again, right? All right, this is another example here of buying exhaustion, right? You can see that right there. See buyers coming in, no one is hitting the ask. They're coming in, right? The buyers are coming in, no one is hitting the ask aggressively. The small loan ranger right here, and then sellers take control, break again. Now at this point, buyers are really starting to kind of accumulate a little bit, right? Because you can see them coming in a little more aggressively now. Another example here of no one hitting the ask, and we eventually get that breakdown. Right, so we flush down here on the retest. This is where I trail, sometimes I trail my stop. When we get this flush down here, when we push back up, right, exhaustion again on the ask. And this is a clearer version here where you can see the bid. You see how they're hitting the bid right now? You see how this guy hit the bid, right? No one really on the ask. No one was on the bid right here. But then when he saw there's no aggressive buyers, hit the bid, hit the bid, hit the bid, right? Hit the bid. Buyers coming in back here, exhaustion again. And let's see here. I think this is where the reversal started. Where did I take profit? Let's see. Oh, actually, right. It was just a retest again, right? So we retest up here at 51.92, came back down. You see, actually, you can see where I was trailing my stop, right? So trailed my stop down here to 51.91.75, moved down to 51.88. And this here, you can see buyers starting to step in aggressively, right? More buyers than sellers right now. See buyers coming in here. But every time they fail to take price up, right, you get the selling, right? So anytime they fail to move price up again, when they get these reversals, right? If they don't hit the ask and really aggressively take price up, sellers step in. Sellers step in. Right, and this is where I was trailing my stop to. Last trail was at 51.83.75 as price tested up here around this level. Right, so this was where I put my stop. Right, so that was the highest point of the reversal right there. I put my stop just above. Right, so this was the highest point of the reversal right there. We had a lower high. So I put my stop here at 51.83.75, and that's where I stopped out. Right, you can see my stop was right there. And at that point, this is where buyers are starting to, let me show you where they start really hitting the ask and really getting aggressive, right? So they start getting the follow through here, have a little pullback, follow through. Let me see some right quick. Right, so they're hitting in between the bid and the ask right now. Not really hitting the ask, but big volume. right? Pushing back up. This was looking a little fishy right here where we could get some continuation and you could see sellers responded, right? They weren't hitting the ask. We had this Lone Ranger up here and we got the selling, right? But they definitely planned to get more aggressive. So on this pullback here, they stepped in again. And then we got back up to this volume point of control, which was sitting at 51.8850. You see it came down right here. Right, so that was volume point of control. And that's where buyers and sellers now had to make a decision, right? Because with the reversal there, the volume point of control is coming down now to test to see who's really in control here, right? And that's where the buyers took it up. You know, buyers starting to hit the ask. They're starting to hit the ask, right? You can see where they didn't really hit the ask here. Sellers taking control momentarily. But then they started to get aggressive again. See these guys here hitting the ask. Follow through, right? So this is an example here of hitting the ask and then getting follow through, right? So he's hitting the ask right here. Some smaller bubbles, but then follow through again, right? So sellers never got the chance to, when they got these smaller buyers right here, they never got the chance to push price back down, right? Smaller bubbles didn't really get to push price back down. So the buyers now started to get aggressive and push price back up on the ask. And they just continue doing that. Right? You see these guys here hitting the ask. Sellers tried to make an attempt right here where they didn't hit the ask really. Came back down here. Let me use the arrows. Looking like as exhaustion maybe. Sellers stepped in. He came right back on the ask right here. Right? Didn't take any right there. Started to hit the ask. Again, hitting the ask. Right? Yep, and this is another example here. So this is where you see the examples of hitting the ask heavily, right? So you see he's all the way up at the top, hitting the ask here, 289 contracts, right? So that's it. This is where you see now the buying exhaustion is definitely over. There's no more buying exhaustion. Everybody's just buying, hitting the ask aggressively. So shout out to Cousin Andy. Hope you check out this video. And yeah, man, I'm gonna leave a link to premium tier futures. And I hope you enjoyed the little breakdown here on Bookmap and how I read Bookmap. And to that other guy, I forgot his name. I hope he checks out this video as well. As he asked me how do you see buying exhaustion. So I hope this was informative on how I read Bookmap and how I find buying exhaustion, selling exhaustion. All right, y'all. So it's Malak Shalomo. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed.